Hello, I'm Rickard with Revent, and we work to empower people to make a difference, and I fight for the industry. Well, we have two different divisions within the organization, and we are a meeting management company and strategically work with our clients to manage their whole portfolio of meetings and events across the spectrum of their organization, as well as I work with the industry associations and the major players, and be they READ with AIBTM or the Convention Industry Council or PCMA, Professional Conference Management Association, MPI, or DMAI, the Destination Marketing Association International. And I work with them in ways of getting the word out regarding advocacy and how we can make a difference within the industry. I had the extreme privilege this morning of being able to engage with a wonderful panel of 4 people. We took 2 from the U.S. government side, one that represented the administration, one that represented the legislative branch and members of Congress, along with 2 of our industry partners, U.S. Travel and the American Society of Association Executives, in which we shared the common communication theme of how do we engage each other to be able to share vital information that's important for us to express the value and significance of the meetings industry, and for them to understand what we do and how we can communicate that with them. I was absolutely amazed with the quality of the response from the panelists, their easy give and take manner of what took place, and I was especially touched by Gail Adams, who represented the Secretary of the Interior, because she told a personal story of how meetings have made a difference in her hometown, and that's New Orleans, after the Katrina disaster, and how the meetings industry came in to help revitalize the economy and to create jobs and to create the pride back in the city of New Orleans, and what they do with their French Creole style of hospitality. Well, today we didn't bring up Muffingate, but of course there are always a series of things that have happened to us within the industry, whether it was the AIG effect, whether it was Don't Go to Las Vegas, Muffingate, the GSA scandal. All those had a bearing on why the panel was assembled and who was in the room. Those things are actually in many ways somewhat of a blessing in disguise, because what it did was it did 2 things. It helped mobilize the industry to understand our respect factor is limited. And the second thing it did was it also gave us the ability to be able to start communicating with those key stakeholders about what the values really are of face-to-face and how that engagement changes lives, changes society, and helps enthrall the economy. I got to tell you, not only during the time of being on stage and watching the audience and their reaction, but also afterwards, it seems everywhere I've gone, I've had people that don't know me just come up and simply say, great panel, loved the discussion, and in fact, it could have went longer. And I think that the next phase is that we've got to engage people more and more with these kind of educational products that AIBTM has offered them here. On behalf of READ and AIBTM, we're enjoying a wonderful, relaxing evening out on the deck of the USS Constellation as a way of gathering a group of CEO leaders that participated this afternoon in some enthralling education that was presented to us regarding leadership activities, the future, the branding, and how event branding is going to take place. It's been an exciting time, and what a great gathering to now have that important face-to-face time from a social standpoint, to now be able to share the tidbits and to be able to engage and create a better relationship that will enable us when we go home to continue to develop and move within our industry. It is the first. I unfortunately had opportunities in the past, but was unable to be able to make that, and I am very pleased and honored to be a part of it today. I think it's going to be interesting. I think looking at other cities and other opportunities gives it some breadth and some scope. I happen to love Baltimore. I think Baltimore has some uniqueness to it, and as I look at it from a standpoint of being able to work and talk about advocacy, and that we're 30 miles away from the U.S. Capitol. So for me, it made it actually easier for us to be able to deal with the panel that we dealt with because of being here. But I know growth takes pain, and we're moving on. And in fact, I've met and engaged with a number of the exhibitors. I appreciate the enthusiasm that's going on in the floor. Had an opportunity at the end of the show today to be able to engage with some people during the shuttles back, because I always love to kind of get the sense and the feel and the, if you will, the groundwork of what's happening. And the exhibitors seem to be extremely pleased with the quality of the people that were set up as the hosted buyers and the appointments that they had, and talked about being able to get business. And quite frankly, in the other part of our business, we have a representative here as a hosted buyer, and she in fact came back and brought with her some RFPs, in which always make exhibitors smile when they have an opportunity to actually attribute business to a show. First of all, the parent company of what we have is Revent, and the best way to figure out who and what we are www.revent, REVENT LLC.com. But on the other side, being the voice and trying to work to fight for the industry, one of the things I would recommend that they do is go to www.voicesinadvocacy.com. We have a ton of tips and tools of how people can actually go out and engage and create that engagement with key stakeholders.